Hello, all you parents out there. Today's topic is why does your kid misbehave and what you can do about it. One of the reasons why kids misbehave, and I believe a big portion of kids' misbehavior, is because your child has a need that is not being met. So your child's not communicating it properly. They don't have the ability to say, "Mommy, I'm sad. Could you give me a hug?" Instead, they might act whiny or depressed, or so they don't have the ability yet to express their needs. And so one of the life skills that you're going to learn today is how to teach your kids how to express their needs so that you can meet them. So several of the needs that children have are to feel powerful, to feel like they belong, to feel loved, to feel understood, to feel respected, to feel seen. So those are some of the needs that a child has. There are lots more, but I won't get into all of them. The important point here is when your child misbehaves, to ask yourself, what does my child need? Not, how can I get this kid to stop doing what they're doing? So once you discover what their need is, then you can fulfill it and you can teach them how to ask for what they need appropriately. So let me give you a couple examples so we can be more clear about this. The first one is my son was 7 years old and I had gotten a divorce from his father. And so for about a year and a half or 2 years, it had been just him and I. And so when we were in the car, he was in the front seat next to me. And all of a sudden, now that I'm dating his stepfather currently, Brian, he's all of a sudden in the back seat of the car. So while he's in the back seat, he starts kicking the back of Brian's seat. And I go, turn around, I go, "Tyler, please stop." And of course, he does for a couple of seconds. And then he's back at it again, and he's kicking the seat of the car again. And I turn around and I say a little bit more firmly, "Tyler, please stop." And again, a couple minutes go by, and there he is kicking the back seat of Brian's seat again. And so this time I turn around and I say, "Tyler, what's up, buddy? What do you need?" And he said to me, and this still kind of pulls on my heart even today, even when I say it, is he said, "Mommy, when he's here, I feel invisible." And I went, oh my gosh, that's so true, because I'm forming this new relationship. I'm being very attentive to Brian, and I'm sort of leaving Tyler out. Not consciously, but I could see where he would feel left out. His need for belonging was not being met. And so what I did is I worked out a signal with him where when he felt like he didn't belong, where he wasn't a part of things, all he had to say was, "Invisible, Mommy," and then Brian and I would do our best to include him. So that's the example of the need to belong. So where might your child have the need to belong that you might be misinterpreting the cues? Sometimes those middle children oftentimes get put in the middle and they often disappear in the family. So they might have a need to belong that you might be missing. The next example I want to give you is the need for power. Power is really important. We all like to feel powerful. We like to feel like we're influential. And when that need for feeling powerful doesn't get met, it often ends up being a power struggle between you and the child. A great example of this is I'm coaching a family right now where there's a 16-year-old son, and he is arguing with his mother all the time. And he'll follow her to the bathroom, he'll follow her to the car, arguing, trying to make his point, trying to win. And what we discovered is that this kid is feeling pretty powerless. His parents choose where he goes to school, they choose his activities, they make him study, so he's feeling very powerless in the family. So what we're working on is how to get him to feel more powerful in more appropriate ways. And so he's doing some chores that he's chosen that make him feel powerful in the family. And we're also teaching him how to win-win negotiate so that he doesn't need to do the power struggle to get his mom mom's attention. So what I'd like you to do tonight for an assignment is take some of those needs that I mentioned, write them out, and sit down with your child and say, how are we doing on your need to be loved? Are you feeling loved? Yeah or no? And then if no, figure out some ways that you can make that child feel more loved. Do the same thing with power. Do the same thing with respect. Understood. And get your child's input so that your child feels like their needs are being met, so they don't need to misbehave in order to get you involved with them. So have fun with that and ask your child, what do you need, as opposed to, what's wrong with you now? And it's a great thing to say to each other as a spouse too, is, what do you need, honey? So have fun with that, and we'll see you at the next hack.